So when we take a look at Childe today, I want to actually look at the character archive, which now actually includes information about characters you don't have. So this makes it a lot easier to review things that you're looking for or what you're wanting. So taking a look at his Constellation here. Actually, let's actually start with his talents. I'm going to look at his normal ones just because it's a little different. Perform a more precise aim shot. Blah, blah. It will deal hydro damage and apply the Riptide status. So Riptide's actually the name of it. I think they had a different label on it originally in the leaks, but opponents that are affected by this will suffer AoE hydro damage effects when attacked by Tartaglia in various ways. Damage dealt in this way is considered normal attack damage. Riptide Flash, a fully charged aim shot that hits an opponent affected by Riptide, deals consecutive bouts of AoE damage. Riptide Burst. Defeating an opponent affected by Riptide creates a Hydro Burst that inflicts the Riptide status on nearby opponent's hit. So it's almost like an AoE like poison effect. He's got a lot of scaling though. Legacy Raging Tide. Unleashes a set of weaponry made of pure water, dealing hydro damage to surrounding opponents and entering melee stance. In the stance, Tartaglia's normal and charge attacks change as follows. Charge attack, Riptide Slash. Hitting an opponent affected by Riptide with a melee attack unleashes a Riptide Slash that deals AoE Hydro. Damage dealt in this way is considered elemental skill damage and can only occur once every 1.5 seconds. After 30 seconds or when the ability is unleashed again, the skill will end. Tartaglia will return to his ranged stance, and this ability will enter cooldown. So it's almost like he goes into it for a period of time and then leaves. The longer he stays in his melee stance, the longer the cooldown. If he returns to a ranged stance, if the return to a ranged stance occurs automatically after 30 seconds, the cooldown is even longer. So it's almost giving you a benefit of getting, like, switching back and forth. I wonder what happens when you switch him out, though. So it looks like you have his range stance, dealing AoE hydro damage. This must be his E ability, his skill. And applies the Riptide. Returns a portion of its energy cost after use, though. In his melee form, performs a slash with a large AoE, which does a massive hydro damage to all surrounding opponents. Jeez, this dude's got, like, AoE hydro damage up the yang. Riptide Blast. When the obliterating water hits an opponent affected by Riptide, it clears their Riptide status and triggers a Hydro Explosion. All I'm seeing is water explosions. Extends Riptide duration by 8 seconds on his Ascension 4. When Tartaglia is in Foul Legacy Raging Tide's melee stance, or if his normal and charge attacks do crit damage, they will apply the Riptide status effect on the enemy. That's insane, dude. This actually, I think this is Ascension skill. I think I was wrong about that. That's insane. Increases your own party member's normal attack. What? Bro, that's a sick passive. That's like a 10% buff to the entire team just by having him in your party. That alone, honestly, makes him extremely worth pulling, in my opinion. Like, oh, I thought that that was like an ability he had. I didn't realize that was his passive. Oh, we all want Zhongli. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's look at this. His whole kit, though, is all just blow up shit with water. Decreases the cooldown of Foul Legacy Raging Tide by 20% on its first const. When opponent affected by Riptide are defeated, Tartaglia regenerates 4 elemental energy. Everybody gets affected by freaking Riptide, so that means he's just gonna have it. Wait, what's his freaking... I want to know what his freaking energy... 60. It's a 60 energy cost? Bro. This dude's just gonna be gonna be a freaking water gun, dude. Increases the level of it. If he's in his melee stance, triggers Riptide Slash against opponents on the field affected by Riptide every 4 seconds, otherwise triggers Riptide Slash. Riptide Slash effects are not subject to the time intervals that would typically apply to these Riptide effects, nor do they have any effect on those time intervals. Wait a minute. Riptide? Wait a minute. Triggers Riptide Slash against opponents on the field affected by Riptide every 4 seconds, otherwise triggers Riptide Flash. not exactly sure what that means, but I'm pretty sure that that means it's going to be just dealing a bunch of damage over time. Gosh, insane. When obliteration is cast in melee stance, the cooldown of his E ability is completely reset. But it'll only take place when he returns to his range stance. Well, I mean, at least it's kind of time gated a little bit. He seems broken. I just want to know what he's scaled off of, like what his build is based on. But yeah, that is insane. So I would say that honestly, Childe might actually be worth pulling. Problem is, I have Mona. I really like her as a water character, so that's really tough for me because honestly, I would just use him just to boost attack. I don't even think he's necessary. He just seems like a lot of fun. He seems like a lot of fun. So I don't know. I think he's a pretty exciting character to come to the table, and I think that he's slightly different in the way that he's designed. But if you just want to blow up shit with water, get Tartaglia or Childe. So anyways, I hope that this was helpful, just kind of walking through. He looks like a fun character. He's a bow user, so just keep that in mind when you do roll for him. We got a lot of bow users. Got a ton of bow users right now, so might even be worth going for the banner to try and get not even just Skyward Bow, but trying to get Rust as well. That's going to be kind of my goal, I think, with all this, just because we got Fischl, we got Venti, we got Diana, and then at some point we could potentially get Tartaglia. So we got a lot of bow users, fam. A lot of bow users. But I hope that some of these unedited clips have been helpful for you. I'm trying to just get this content out a little bit sooner, so I apologize if it's not as clean as some of my most recent work, but the whole goal is to make sure that everyone's making informed decisions about this, because obviously we have very limited resources. Make sure you get your Primo codes in. Make sure that you guys spend wisely. Don't be dumb. He's not necessary. That's what I will say. But he does look like a lot of fun. So I'm excited to see what other new units they bring to the game past this point, past Zhongli, past Xiao. Still think Zhongli is still amazing, but the fact that he can increase your entire team's attack by 10% that's something that shouldn't be understated. I think that by itself, at a glance, is pretty powerful. So anyways, let me know in the comments below what y'all think. Subscribe if you like more content like this one. Comment below if this is more your style, if you appreciate some of the more built content that I create over time with like music in the background and all that stuff. And I will see y'all in the next one.